In 1929, America lost all its money. Not like misplaced it. Gone. Evaporated. One day you're rich, next day you're selling apples on a street corner. That is not a metaphor. People were literally selling apples on street corners. Here's how it happened. The 1920s were a party. World War I was over, factories were booming, everyone had a car and a radio and was buying stuff on credit they'd definitely be able to pay back later. The stock market was going up every single day. Normal people, secretaries, janitors, farmers were buying stocks with borrowed money, betting prices would go up forever. Prices did not go up forever. October 29th, 1929, Black Tuesday. The stock market collapses in a single day. People who borrowed money to buy stocks suddenly owe fortunes they no longer have. Banks call in their loans. People can't pay. Banks start failing. When a bank fails, everyone who had money in it loses everything. Instantly, permanently, no warning, no protection, just gone. 9,000 banks failed. 9,000 in 3 years. Your grandfather's life savings? Gone. Your neighbor's business? Gone. The factory in your town? Closed. The store on your corner? Shuttered. The job you had for 15 years? Eliminated. Within 3 years, 1 in 4 American workers had no job. 25%. And not because they were lazy. There were simply no jobs. The economy had locked up completely, like a car engine with no oil, grinding itself to pieces. By 1932, men who had been accountants and lawyers and salesmen were standing in line stretching around the block just to get a bowl of soup. These were called bread lines. If you wanted to eat, you waited in line for hours. Sometimes you got soup. Sometimes the soup ran out. The places people lived when they had no money were called Hoovervilles, shantytowns made of cardboard and scrap wood. Named after President Hoover because people were so angry at him, they named their miserable cardboard cities after him. That is the most brutal political burn in American history. Your name becomes synonymous with cardboard slums.
And then, because apparently one catastrophe wasn't enough, the dirt started blowing away. Farmers in the middle of the country had plowed up millions of acres of grassland during the wheat boom. When the drought hit in the 1930s, all that bare soil with no roots to hold it in place just left. Dust storms the size of states rolled across Kansas and Oklahoma and Texas. Black blizzards, walls of dirt hundreds of feet high that turned daytime into night. Dust that buried cars, suffocated animals, got into houses through every crack. People put wet rags over their faces to breathe. Children got dust pneumonia. The land that was supposed to feed the country was eating itself. 3.5 million people packed everything they owned into broken-down cars and drove west to California. They were called Okies, mostly from Oklahoma, and California did not want them. They found labor camps and exploitation and signs that said no jobs. Meanwhile, President Hoover's solution was essentially, the economy will fix itself, let's not interfere. The economy did not fix itself. People starved. His approval rating can be summarized by the fact that they named the cardboard cities after him. Then, in 1932, Franklin Roosevelt won the presidency by the largest margin in decades. He got on the radio, which was what they had instead of the internet, and in a calm, warm voice, told everyone he had a plan. He called it the New Deal. People trusted him because literally anyone with a plan sounded good at that point. Roosevelt's plan actually worked, mostly. He created jobs. The government hired millions of unemployed people to build roads, bridges, dams, national parks, post offices. He put rules on banks so they couldn't gamble with people's savings. He invented the FDIC, bank insurance, so that if your bank failed, you'd get your money back. That still exists today. Your money in the bank right now is protected because of what happened in 1929. He also invented Social Security, money the government sends you when you get too old to work so you don't starve. Also still exists, also because of 1929. Things slowly got better, but honestly, The Depression didn't fully end until World War II, when the government spent an absolutely insane amount of money building weapons, and suddenly everyone had a job making tanks and planes and bullets. The people who grew up in the Depression never forgot it. They saved every penny. They never wasted food. They kept the same clothes for decades. They thought anyone who borrowed money was a maniac. Their grandchildren grew up in fat, prosperous times, forgot all the lessons, and in 2008, when banks started failing again, suddenly remembered the stories. History is just the universe's way of telling you that you didn't listen the first time.